I'm Libby Wilson, and thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to this very much. Thank you also to Betsy Moyer and to Jack Pugh, who are filming this for us. So that's very kind of them indeed. I have lived in Concord for 47 years, and I had never heard of Indian Hill music. Couldn't believe it. It wasn't until my grandchildren started taking piano lessons and I went to their recitals that I thought, it might be kind of fun to take piano lessons again. So I asked around, and I found out, to my great astonishment, that there's this music school of 1,600 students who are taught 30 different instruments right in the next town, in Littleton. Who knew? I didn't, for sure. So I went and had those lessons, and in doing that, I heard about the orchestra, which is just fabulous. Bruce Hangen is the conductor. He used to be a conductor of the... Can you all hear me all right? Almost. Sorry. Is that better?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Bruce is just a wonderful conductor. He used to be a conductor of the Boston Pops, so that tells you the character and the expertise that he has. He's wonderful fun. He gives a great talk ahead of time, and we just love him. I love to watch him conduct. He's absolutely one of my most favorite conductors.
What's his name?
Bruce Hangen, 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 yes. So I've been going to that since 1913.
Okay, we'll go back.
I've never spoken here before, I guess you can tell that. Anyway, piano lessons started in 2012, and I started subscribing to the concerts in 1913, to my great pleasure.
2013.
2013. I know I'm old, but not that old. So, and also in the performance field, they have, and I just found out about this because of a article in the Boston Globe about 2 weeks ago there was a wonderful large article on the Indian Hills threshold singers, which I really didn't know about. And lo and behold, our Patty Frazier, right here from Newbury Court, is one of those singers, and in fact her picture was in the Boston Globe. So you find out about Indian Hill in different sundry ways. And we also, you probably know it because of the boxed lunches that we go to, we take trips to from here, which people really enjoy. So that's how I learned about Indian Hill, a variety of ways, and now you'll get to hear about them yourself. First, I just would like to introduce the people who came to us from Indian Hill today. Lisa Fiorentino, who's the CEO and will be speaking today. Catherine Coleman, where's Catherine? She's right here. If you want to stand up, Catherine, just wave at him. She is the Director of Development. Susan Randazzo, who is a senior advisor and founding staff member of the Indian Hill Music and executive director from 2001 to 2018, and Joe Panic, a member of the board of directors. So a little bit about Lisa before I just turn that right over to her. Welcome to you. She provides strategic leadership for the operations and evaluation of all aspects of the organization, including of the organization. She began her tenure with Indian Hill in 2008 as Director of Finance and was named Chief Operating Officer in 2014. She was previously Vice President of Finance and Administration and Chief Accounting Officer of NetScout Systems in Westford for 10 years, where she helped manage the organization through significant growth phase. She received an MBA from Bentley University and a BS in Business Administration from Merrimack College, and is a longtime resident of Groton, and we are delighted to have her here. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Libby. Do you want to just go back one? Thank you, everyone, for being here today. We're so thrilled to be able to share with you what's going on at Indian Hill Music. As Libby indicated, we're in Littleton right now. We are a nonprofit music education and performance center, and I will spend some time telling you about what we do at Indian Hill. But as you can see from the renderings, we're also in the middle of a major construction project in Groton, Massachusetts, where we are going to be building the music center at Indian Hill. It's a tremendous project. We're so excited about it, and as we go through, I'll be telling you about what's coming down the road. So if we start, first of all, as I said, we're a nonprofit music education and performance center. And I wanted to start with our mission because I think it's important for everyone to understand why we exist. We exist to share the transformative power of music through teaching and performing and giving music generously when there is need. We all know how important music is in people's lives. Whether it's just that you want to enjoy listening to it, you're relaxing, you want to be part of it, music makes a difference to people. It really is integral to growing and living and being. And so we are so excited that we're able to share this transformative power of music regularly with everyone who comes to experience it. The next is our values, and I do want to spend a little bit of time telling you what we feel is most important about what we do at Indian Hill Music. We recently set out on a plan to come up with what our values are for our organization because, as I mentioned, we are growing. We are going to be moving into a new facility, and we want to make sure that the special things that Indian Hill does continue even though we're going to be growing and moving into a different facility. So we came up with 7 values that are really integral to who we are and what we do. The first is that we are a community of excellence open to all. The key components of that are really that we believe in high quality with everything that we do, whether it's education or performance or any of our music philanthropy, our service that we provide to people. We want it to be high quality. We also believe strongly in accessibility, and that's why we want to be open to all people who want to be part of the Indian Hill music community. Another value that we have, which is extremely special and different from many other organizations, is that we value a feeling of home. We hear this all the time from people when they come to any of the things that are going on at Indian Hill. They feel that they have a sense of belonging, that they really are coming to their second home. And we want to make sure that people, when they come to us, are invited into a warm and welcoming environment. That is very important to us, so that we're really creating a community of people, music lovers, who want to all be together and experience the joy that we offer. Our next value is vibrant experiences. And this is really important in terms of anything you do. Whether you have an experience with a teacher in an educational setting, whether you're doing a performance, or whether you're just gathering with different people. We want the experience from beginning to end to be vibrant. We want you to feel energized and stimulated by the music and everything that's going on around you. Our next value is personal growth. And what's important here is the idea of personal growth. Everyone has their own ideas about how they want to experience Indian Hill. For instance, some of our students, our younger students or our high school age students, they want to go off to be music professionals. And so they're really spending their time with these high ideals about what they want to have happen. But then we have others who are just taking music lessons because they love music. You know, we have one staff person that took lessons recently because they were coming up on their 30th anniversary with their husband, and she wanted to sing a special song at their anniversary party. So that was her growth and what she wanted. So we're really looking to find out what people want from their lessons or from their performance experience and make sure that we match that so they have that experience, that vibrant experience that they want. Our next value is meaningful connections. And this is critical, especially in a time where people don't get to interact with each other as often as perhaps years ago. We believe strongly in social interaction. So we do many different kinds of things where people can connect with each other. We have lots of ensemble opportunities where people can play together. We have lots of performance opportunities where the audience can connect with the musicians can connect with the audience, and the audience can connect with each other. For our students, they can connect with their teacher. They can connect with the families around them. So meaningful connections are critical to what we do at Indian Hill Music. Our next value is giving music generously. And I will speak more about this a bit later, but this is our music philanthropy. Libby had mentioned earlier that we do our box lunch concerts, and I'll talk more about that. But that's one example of how we make sure that music is accessible to all people and that we're giving music generously whenever we can. And our last value is responsible stewardship. And that's important because we need to make sure that we take care of everything that's been given to us. So our financial resources, our human resources, our physical resources, we have to make sure that our community is experiencing the best of Indian Hill and that we're being prudent with all the decisions that we make. So you'll see as I talk today that many of these values are going to play throughout how we do things in the performances and the education that we actually offer. So we'll start with the first part of our mission, which is our community music school. And the important thing to note in that is it's a community music school, which means that it's open for all people. So we have students who are, say, 6 months old, and there are Music for Aardvarks, this wonderful little program where all the little kids are coming in, some with their caregivers, and they're learning to play and sing and enjoy music and movement. So that's one component. Then we have all the way through kids of all different ages who are taking music lessons for various reasons. And we also have a large adult population taking music lessons. About 80% of our students are actually adults who, 18, sorry, thank you. 18% are adults who have actually come back and want to take music again, or someone like Libby had mentioned, who it's time to actually get in there and take music. So we try to cater to all people. We have about 1,300 students, and as Libby mentioned, there are actually 1,600 in the sense that many of these people take double lessons or different classes and ensembles, so we actually serve 1,600 registrations through what we actually do. And again, relaxed or rigorous pace. Whatever you want to get out of your music education, you'll be able to get at Indian Hill. The other thing that is important about what we do is that we have a very comprehensive music education program. So when someone takes lessons at Indian Hill, they also have access to workshops and master classes and free attendance to our concerts. So it's more than just the lesson. They're actually able to take advantage of many different music components to really make sure that they have a full educational experience. So in the end, we really have countless opportunities for people to get involved in music. This is an example of some of the things that we offer. We do spend a great deal of time thinking about ensemble opportunities. As I had said before, regarding our values, we believe in connection. And one of the best ways to make connections with people is to play music with them. You have to communicate with people in a group in a very different way than if you're taking lessons and just doing something on your own. So we try to offer all kinds of group opportunities. We have a New Horizons band, for instance, which are for adults who perhaps took lessons when they were in middle school, and now they want to find something new to do, and they want to get back into music, so they all get together and they play in a band. We have youth orchestra programs for all ages. We have youth choruses that we offer. We offer early childhood, as I said before, our Music for Aardvarks program, as well as Suzuki, which is that good quality beginning to someone's music education. We have beginner classes for all ages. So for little kids, but you don't have to be little to start taking music lessons. Again, there's beginner classes in all kinds of instruments that people can take advantage of. And then we have summer programs and school vacation programs. We're a very vibrant community. As I said before about vibrant experiences, there's something going on every day at Indian Hill. Lots of people there. You can really feel the vibrancy and the energy of it all. Then we have our professional performance series. And our professional performance series has many components to it. Libby spent some time talking about our orchestra. Our orchestra is fabulous. We have a 70-member, all-professional orchestra that do a 6-season concert right now in Littleton High School. And when you look around and you see some of these renderings, in a few years we'll be able to have our orchestra perform in a world-class concert hall. I can tell you that they are fabulous musicians. And Saturday night we finished our concert series for this season, and it was a standing ovation, a sold-out house. People were so thrilled with the performance. Bruce Hangen, as Libby mentioned, is a fabulous conductor, and we're so lucky to have him. And we can't wait until we're able to actually provide these orchestra concerts in a wonderful world-class hall. It is going to be truly amazing. In addition to the orchestra, though, we also have many other performances. In our current location, we have a small hall called Camilla Blackman Hall that sits about 200 people, and we do all kinds of performances in that hall. We do chamber music, we do jazz, folk, big band, swing, roots, all different kind of music is played there. And what we're doing now is really trying to expand the different kinds of music that we bring to that hall so that we can get ready for where we're going. Because in our new home, we're going to do all kinds of genres of music. So we want to start bringing people in to start seeing all the great things you can experience when you come to Indian Hill. This season we'll do about 38 professional performances. So we're really doing lots of things, again, back to that vibrant community with the meaningful connections and all the wonderful things that you can experience about music when you come to Indian Hill. There's really something for everyone at these events. Then we can talk about our giving music generously. This is very important to us. This is really core to who we are. We believe in giving music generously whenever there is need. And this is a point of being accessible and making sure that people have music opportunities. We actually spend, it's really more like $125,000 that we're spending this year on our music philanthropy through all different kinds of programs. We have the wonderful box lunch concerts that I know people from Newbury Court have come to. We do 20 concerts a year. It's 2 on the 3rd Thursday of every month for 10 months. And we bring about 300 people each time we do those 2 concerts. So really, by the end of the year, we're serving close to 3,000 attendees at these events. And they're professional performances where people are able to come in and really have this wonderful experience. They're free to seniors and others who want to come in to really enjoy the music and just relax and appreciate what music can bring. We have our Threshold Singers, which Libby also mentioned, good intro. That is a hospice choir that does the free service of singing at the bedsides of individuals towards the end of life. And there was a wonderful article, as Libby had mentioned, in the Boston Globe that really shows how important that service is to our community. We do scholarships, financial scholarships for people who need, because again, we want to make sure that music is accessible to all people. When you want to be able to take music, we want to make sure that you can, and we want to drop those barriers that might prevent you from taking music. And then we have in-school partnerships with high-need communities. It's amazing how many communities don't have access to high-quality music education. And so we partner with communities such as Fitchburg and Ayer, Shirley, Lawrence, Clinton, and we bring music education into those schools so that those children have the opportunity to have music that they might not otherwise have available to them. We also do performances out in the community. So we might go to the Maynard Art Walk, or we'll go to the Healing Garden, and we'll actually have our students performing there. It helps our students because they're actually out performing. It brings music to people, and it helps those organizations as well. So it's another way that we give music generously whenever we can. So here's what's coming. This is the exciting part. So not that everything we do is exciting. But so we're creating the Music Center at Indian Hill in Groton. We own about 110 acres of land, most of which is agriculturally restricted. And as I'll show you in a bit, there's this beautiful field with wonderful, wonderful hills that you'll be able to look at when you're actually at the Music Center at Indian Hill. The project itself is being built on about 35 acres. The building itself is 126,000 square feet. It's a very large building. It includes 35 acoustically designed music studios of all different sizes. So right now in our place in Littleton, we have a few large spaces for ensembles, but we're running out of room. We talk about how we want to make connections. We need larger spaces to be able to make those connections. And this will be able to allow us to do that. In addition to our studios, we have a 300-seat performance hall. If you've ever been to Rockport, the Shallon Lou, the architect who is designing our building also designed that building as well, and that hall as well. It's a fabulous building, a fabulous concert hall that is going to be overlooking Indian Hill. And there's a picture of it, I'll show you a little more, but the second rendering over is an example of that performance hall. We'll do all kinds of genres of music in that small hall. We also have a large concert hall that is going to be perfect for our orchestra. It's a 1,000-seat concert hall. From a rendering perspective, it's the 4th one over, and I'll show you more pictures of that in a minute. And that actually is 1,000 seats that has a door that opens onto a lawn audience to fit another 1,300. We'll be able to do so many wonderful things in that space and bring music to so many people. We're really creating a destination, a place where people can come to experience music however they want to experience it. We expect that people will come from all over to want to be part of this, to want to see what's going on, to perhaps come and have a performance at Indian Hill, stay in the local community, experience all the wonderful things that are out in this region. The reason why we're all here is this fabulous place where there's so many things to do. Indian Hill adds to that. It creates that destination, and it's really such a unique space and such a unique property that we're really going to be able to draw people to us. We'll do all kinds of genres of music, and we really want this to be a community gathering place, a place where people can come to be together and to share music. That's what's so important to us. And there'll be all kinds of opportunities to even expand our Giving Music Generously programs more. We'll be able to do field trips for students from public schools. We'll be able to have family concerts so that, you know, young families can bring their children and experience music at a young age so that they can get involved in music more and more. This picture right here would be your entryway. So when you're first walking up to the site, you'll walk up and see this beautiful entrance. This property at one point had been an apple orchard. And so when the architect created it, he wanted to invoke the idea of apple trees. So you can see the wood. This is all southern yellow pine, glue laminated southern yellow pine. So as you're walking up, you get the feel of the orchard, and you can see the red is kind of like a barn board, the idea of the barns and the agricultural space that you'd expect to see in a place such as Groton. So this just gives you a sense, the stonework, it's a beautiful building, and it's going to be wonderful when you're actually walking up to it. So this is the concert hall. Quite dramatic. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, it's 1,000 seats, and you can see the beautiful materials that go into it. This will be the perfect place for our orchestra, but we will do more than orchestra concerts. We'll be doing concerts in all kinds of genres of music. We'll be able to have pre-concert dining so that you can come in advance. There's a dining room on this property, so if you came to a concert, you'd also be able to have pre-concert dining, have your dinner, go over for a concert, just make it a beautiful, vibrant experience from beginning to end. And then we have a large stage, which I'll show you on the next slide, that'll actually give you a little bit of an overview. This is looking from the back, so you can see the stage, and what's wonderful about the stage, if you've been to an orchestra concert, is that we have risers. So if you go to an orchestra concert, you can never see the percussion people. You can't see the brass. You end up seeing the strings in the front, and you know everybody else is back there. You know they're doing something, but you can't necessarily see them. With this, we'll have risers, so you'll be able to see all the musicians and really get a wonderful view of what's happening. And what's great about those risers is that when the concert is over, it's on a hydraulic, so they all collapse, and we can use the stage for storage, which is always so important. You need storage to be able to make sure you take care of all your instruments and everything that you're taking care of, so this works out really well. The back screen is actually for AV, so we can actually do video here. There'll be acoustic and audio and visual that will go on here. The possibilities are amazing. And you can even see there are seats behind the stage. Those can be for choral, so if we're doing a choral concert, we can have our chorus sitting there. They can also be for audience. So more and more you find that people want to do music in the round, so that they're actually experiencing the music in a much more intimate way. And this concert hall is actually designed to be a very intimate feel, so that people feel like they're very close to the musicians. Right now we play in Littleton High School, which is about 720 seats roughly, and it's all kind of one flat floor. Well, this is 1,000. You have the floor, you have all of the sides, you have the back, you have behind the stage, so it's really a much closer feel, so that people will really be able to experience, the audience will be able to experience the musicians in such a great way. Another wonderful thing, if you look up to the top, there are these acoustic panels that are in the property, and what happens is that if an orchestra is playing, those acoustic panels will be very high so that you can experience all the music. But if you have a lesser group of people, fewer people on the stage, you can adjust those. So we've taken much care to make sure that acoustically, when you're there, the music that you are experiencing is just going to sound so wonderful and so vibrant. And that's an important component of what we have going on here. Next. This is the smaller performance hall, the 300-seat hall that I mentioned. And what will happen is that back glass looks out over Indian Hill. And what's so wonderful about our story is obviously we're Indian Hill Music. We were founded on Indian Hill Road in Groton about 34 years ago. And then we moved on. And now we're actually coming home. That's the only way to put it. We actually now, Indian Hill Music owns Indian Hill. These kinds of things don't happen very often. So when you're in that kind of a situation, it's just wonderful. It feels like this is where we should be, given that this is where we were founded so long ago, and we now own the very hill that we were named after, which is quite incredible. So what's possible? I mentioned that we have a dining room. We can do a jazz club. So after hours, you can have jazz going on in this small dining room that fits about 125 people in an intimate space. We also have outdoor spaces so that there'll be patios for people to be able to sit and enjoy their dinner and everything that goes with that. We'll do Pops concerts, which we don't do right now. We do Masterworks concerts, but we'll be able to do Pops concerts. And then we'll have something that we refer to as summer festivals. And this is really where we're able to integrate education and performance, because we're very strong on wanting to make those two things tie together. So we can do summer programs now, and in the future we'll have summer programs with our students where, let's say they're working on bluegrass or something and they're working on some pieces, and then we'll have a bluegrass festival. And the students will be able to play the pieces that they've been working on. We'll have professionals that are playing, workshops, master classes, and the entire day will culminate in a major concert at the end of the night with the doors open up onto a lawn audience on whatever that theme is. So again, you can get the sense of the community and the connection and the gathering place that we are creating here all around music. We'll do partnerships. We'll do speaker series, which I know people love to hear people come and speak about their profession. We'll be doing those kinds of things as well. And we'll be able to have conference spaces and rental opportunities. There's just so many things that we could do here. I could spend hours telling you all the ideas we have that we really want to do to be able to make this be a very fabulous place. This is the rehearsal room, and this will be the room where we'll have our box lunch concerts. So if any of you have been to them now, it's in our beautiful Blackman Hall, which is really a beautiful, lovely space. This will be the new space. It's a flat floor. Our orchestra can rehearse here, and what's wonderful about this is there's a balcony in the back, so students can be watching the orchestra rehearse, and that's an educational component. And we'll also have all of our large ensembles here. So our big band will play here, our youth orchestras will play here, our pre-concert talks before all of our orchestra concerts will be here. It's a wonderful space. So the beauty of this whole project, and what we're so excited about, is that the funds necessary for this project have been donated to us. So we're all set for the project, but we as an organization are a nonprofit organization, and we maintain the responsibility of making sure that we have the funds we need to bring this entire dream to life. So we are in the middle of a campaign that we're doing to raise funds necessary to really truly make sure that all of our programming is what it needs to be to really achieve this dream that we have, that we're working on. So we look at ourselves as a 34-year-old startup, because we're starting all over again. And so we need to make sure that we have in place some things now, even though we're not moving in until the fall of 2022. This is a bit of about a 3-year path that we're working on. We need to be doing things now so that when we get there, we're already up and running on some things. Then we need all of our programming to be in place, and then we also want to make sure that we have endowment to sustain this wonderful building. I had mentioned earlier that our values include responsible stewardship, and it's important that we're responsible stewards of this wonderful, fabulous gift that we've been given. So some construction pictures so that you get a sense. You know, the renderings are all beautiful and wonderful, but this gives you a sense of how far along we are with all of this. So this right here would be the school side of the property. And so these are all the school studios on the top there with all the red and white. And then below are the administrative offices that are currently going in. And you can see where the entryway would be, that rendering that had the tree looks. That will be this place right here. This is kind of the whole view. So you can tell this is quite a project, and it's coming along really beautifully. So again, the studio side, there are more studios off to the side. You can see up in the left corner the small performance hall that you can see, and you'll see that again in another picture in a moment. And then you can start to see the concert hall going up. Those large pillars are the concert hall taking shape. And out over here, on this side, we have the dining hall. We have a reception room, a VIP room, where people can come and meet artists and mingle and really be able to talk about the music and what's actually going on there. Could you go back for 1 minute? And you can see in the background, we own all that land. And it's a beautiful hayfield, and when you're there and you're looking out, you feel like you're a little closer to the sky, I have to say. You're not going up that far of a hill, but you get this different feel about this wonderful, beautiful property. Okay, thanks. Over here you have the concert hall. You can see the space of where that back door that will open up is, and you could start to see the pillars. The stage is actually on this side, so when you're in the stage and you're looking from the lawn, you kind of are raking in this way and seeing what's actually going on. Okay. And then this is the back of the building. So now you can really truly see the concert hall. And there's that opening that will be where the doors will open onto the lawn audience. And then there's the balconies, the pillars that will be the high roof that you need for acoustic reasons. And then you can see on the opposite side of that is that rehearsal room that I mentioned, that lovely rehearsal room. Your entryway out in this back will be a wonderful place where people can gather. There'll be places for outdoor, just sitting outside, enjoying a beautiful spring or summer day. We'll make sure that people have access to just be able to be there and enjoy what's going on. There's a cafe in the school side, so people can come and get a cup of coffee and then go sit outside. Again, that idea of really convening and just being with each other and making those connections is so important. And this is the recital hall over here that I had mentioned, a small performance hall that has the glass that looks out over Indian Hill. And this is your aerial view, beauty of drone shots. So you can actually see, again, concert hall taking shape, the dining area and reception area, the school side, the recital hall. It's quite an amazing project. They're moving along wonderfully. It is a long build because we want to make sure that acoustically it's perfect, so that when you come, it's a world-class concert hall. So that takes that extra time, attention to detail, so to speak. And that's your back view. So this would be from the back of the building, your recital hall or performance hall, small performance hall. All of your studio spaces are in the middle that connect to the concert hall on the side with lots of glass and just, you know, a wonderful, beautiful place to all be. So that's the presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has. I do want to stop and thank Libby for putting all this together, and thank Newbury Court for allowing us to be here, and thank all of you for coming and listening. And I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has about our project.
When were the photographs of the construction taken?
Probably about a month ago. Yeah, a month ago. And actually, thank you, because that made me think of something else. If you go to our website, indianhillmusic.org, on the front of the website, there's a link for the Future Music Center at Indian Hill. If you go there, it'll actually show you renderings. There's a 360-degree tour of some of the large spaces that our architect put together, so you can actually go and kind of look 360 around what the concert hall is going to look like. And we put regular pictures up there about the progress that's going on, so you can go and look there for that. Other questions?
How does this work? Is that coming through?
Yes.
Yes.
How much is your fund drive? What's the size of the fund drive?
We're currently in the middle of raising about $40 million.
40 million?
Yes.
Okay.
And that covers many things. So we're looking to actually, it's the startup funds that we need, and then the continued funds to be able to bring the building to life and the programming and to raise our annual fund targets, and then endowment as well to support the building.
So you'll become the Tanglewood of the East then?
That, you know, people do make that reference, and that's a wonderful reference to make. Tanglewood is a bit larger. So if you go to Tanglewood, you can probably fit about 18,000 people by the time you're done on Tanglewood. Here it's about 2,500 or 2,300. So we're smaller, but the same kind of feel in terms of really wanting to have that outdoor experience, the ability to have education and performance. So people do make that reference quite a bit. Other questions? Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it, and we're so glad that we could be here. And again, thanks to Newbury Court and to Libby. And We appreciate your time. Have a good rest of the day.